Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, and man, we're going to dip back into the Rooster Teeth disaster. The ship is sinking. People are jumping ship left and right. Old wounds are being reopened. Look, we're watching Rooster Teeth implode and burn down in real time. There's no way to candy coat it, right? There are too many people leaving. Too many controversies coming out, and we've got WarnerMedia, the current owner of Rooster Teeth, announcing that they're going to be laying off thousands of people and consolidating divisions to focus on HBO Max. I don't see Rooster Teeth having a long-term future, at least not in its current incarnation. Again, people we've talked to, the plan last year, as I understand it, was to eventually just kind of fold some of the Rooster Teeth people in with the Cartoon Network people and just have an animation division that makes content for HBO Max. Now, I don't know if that's changed or not, but I don't think this company has much longer to go. I really don't. I don't see a future for it. Its sister company, Machinima, WarnerMedia shut them down at the beginning of last year, and Machinima had like 12 million subs. They could have left the content up there to generate passive income. They took all the content down. There's nothing left, Game companies are being sold left and right for, rock bottom prices. Giant Bomb and GameSpot. I think GameFAQs is part of that too. CBS sold them off. They paid $1.8 billion for this group of video game sites in 2008, and they wound up selling it for like $500 million just a couple months ago. So there really, I don't think, is a future for Rooster Teeth as part of a corporate entity. Now, the best case scenario, in my personal opinion, is that they could somehow work out a deal like the Critical Role guys did and separate themselves from WarnerMedia. But I think it would require millions and millions and millions of dollars to do that. And I don't think this company is generating that kind of revenue anymore. So this is sort of the wall of what was the who's who of Rooster Teeth, and now it's sort of become the wall of shame, or at least with some of these folks, because while many of them left on their own, these are people that are jumping ship from Rooster Teeth. And of course, we've got some controversy around these two guys. Major controversy that's basically cracked Achievement Hunter and Funhouse. Definitely ruined the reputation of both of those channels, those shows. And we're going to talk about how the media now is starting to pay more attention to Rooster Teeth. I did a video the other day. There's been more. They're going back and they're digging up info on Joel Heyman. Why did Joel quit? We're going to talk about that. He didn't quit. Long story short, his politics didn't gel with Rooster Teeth and he got ousted. But the media is starting to pay attention to this now. And when the mainstream media pays attention to it, that's when the executives at companies like WarnerMedia pay attention to it. When YouTubers are just bitching about it, they're easily dismissed. But when we've got news story after news story after news story coming out about Rooster Teeth's fuck-ups, basically, then it's going to get the attention of executives who are looking for every corner to cut right now with this company. So speaking of leaving, Jackie has left. Yeah, she's the latest to jump ship from Rooster Teeth. She's a community manager for Rooster Teeth, and she put this out on Twitter because everybody makes a big flowery speech about them leaving on Twitter. I mean, are you seeing a pattern here? Everybody's leaving. They're all jumping ship. Rooster Teeth and I have parted ways, she says. This year has been full of so much pain and hurt, and it has taken more than a toll. I've neglected my mental and emotional well-being for far too long, and it's incredibly apparent now. I'm heartbroken, saddened, and so hurt. I have so much love for this community, but I need to step back in order to mend and heal. I will miss my friends, my colleagues, and I will always support them as much as I've supported Rooster Teeth for the last 16 years of my life. Please be good to each other, be empathetic, be kind, and don't also forget to love yourself as well. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a dumpster fire, and I can't imagine the people who are left behind, the mess that they have to clean up. Because every time somebody leaves, there's always speculation, scuttlebutt about why they left. And when you've got people leaving practically every week at this point, you're going to have some gossip, right? The Rooster Teeth Reddit is sort of a dumpster fire right now. A lot of the posts are in restricted mode, but one that is coming up is Trevor Collins. Trevor Collins of Achievement Hunter. Okay, now he's got to go out and make a 10-page statement refuting his old accusation. There was a messy breakup with a girlfriend, as I understand it, and he literally writes a blow-by-blow of what happened. And it just goes on and on and on with screen captures. The fact that he feels like he has to do this right now is very, very telling, because I think that the Eye of Sauron over at WarnerMedia is turning its attention to Rooster Teeth, and they're going to start digging through everybody's allegations and everybody's past, everybody's tweets or social media history, and they're going to look for anything they can find. My God, this just goes on and on. It just sounds to me like a really messy breakup, and that the girl he broke up with was a little on the clingy side, putting that lightly. But yeah, the fact that he's got all these receipts, the fact that he feels like he has to do this now is telling. Very, very telling. It's a statement. He says, I hope this statement provides some understanding to those who have yearned for a response. If I'm honest, this was very difficult and painful to write, and reflects upon emotions from a time that I've been needing to move on from. On top of this, there's been a handful of individuals who seem to relish in this narrative, and I've just been disappointed to see them spin their own facts on top of the already changing story. It's stolen our voices in times where we wanted to stand up for others. At times, it prevented us from speaking when there were friends needing support. It created a fear that we'd be called into question, that our words would ring hollow with hypocrisy. This will be my first and last word on the subject. I'm hoping this ends the cycle of anxiety and undue stress that Barbara and I have silently faced these past 2.5 years. And I hope that this would be the girlfriend, side chick, whatever, can find some peace hereafter. Again, what is this, 10 pages? 10 pages. 10 pages addressing skeletons in his closet. Why would he do this? Because WarnerMedia is looking at this company, and they're going to throw anybody overboard who has any skeletons in their closet, right? It would be a very scary place to work, I think, right now. And this is why I think we're seeing a lot of people leave. This is why Jackie is leaving, I think. She doesn't want to deal with it. Community manager, she's probably getting a lot of vitriol. I mean, hell, we even talk about it objectively, and we get all kinds of shit in our DMs and emails and everything else. It's gotten so bad that when Achievement Hunter made their comeback, I guess their comeback video, comeback live stream, they addressed the situation with Ryan Haywood. They had to tell the fandom that yes, it's true. It wasn't a deep fake. It's true. That's how dedicated, I guess I'm using air quotes here, parts of the Rooster Teeth fandom are, that they can't believe that there's bad news. But if you've been paying attention over the last 2 years, it's been nothing but bad news for this company. They just don't fit within the corporate structure. And believe me, WarnerMedia knows, AT&T knows, and I think they've been trying to buy time, working closer and closer with Hollywood, but I think they're done. I think they're effectively done, and I would not be surprised if the next brutal round of layoffs led to effectively Rooster Teeth being dissolved, at least as it is right now. They already brought WarnerMedia management in last year, I think, to try to give it one last shot, and all the scandals now, all the drama, they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it. I mean, look at what they did with Ellen. Look at what they're looking into now with the Justice League situation. And there's not a lot of evidence of stuff going on there, but there's a shit ton of evidence of stuff going down at Rooster Teeth. So again, it's interesting to see the mainstream media, or at least, more popular websites, talk about Rooster Teeth, but they're not just talking about, what's going down currently. They're digging up stuff from months ago, years ago, and running with it, probably because it's getting hits, because people are interested in drama. They always love drama, and they're interested in Rooster Teeth now, even though a lot of people probably haven't thought about, unless you're a fan, you probably haven't thought about Rooster Teeth in years. But now they're digging up the Joel Heyman situation. We know Joel got gone from Rooster Teeth But I don't think he ever really addressed, or Rooster Teeth never addressed it. I didn't think they gave him a goodbye. If I remember correctly, they just like kicked his ass to the curb and that was it. Swept it under the rug and forgot about it. But apparently he was purged from Rooster Teeth for wrongthink. So this is coming from Distractify, is one of the sites covering it. The same site that dug up the Mike Quinn situation from last year too. Different authors too. So it's not just, we got Gina here and we've got Katie here. So it's not just, one author with an axe to grind against Rooster Teeth. This outlet has decided to go back and dig up a bunch of dirt. And it's hitting the news feeds. And believe me, WarnerMedia probably knows. They're probably paying attention. This was literally the first thing that came up when I Googled Rooster Teeth in the Google News. So back in June, co-founder of Rooster Teeth and the voice of Oobleck and Ruby, Joel Heyman, was let go from the company. On June 1st, he tweeted, "I was laid off after making tens of millions of dollars for others." Yeah, he sounds a little bitter. I would be pissed too. "When I started, I had no healthcare, 401k, or salary. Worked harder than what anyone can know. I basically stopped coming in after a thing. I had my reasons for that, but it's a long deal." So what happened exactly? Why was he fired? Political opinions, apparently. Political opinions. Very strong political opinions, which you are allowed to have current year as long as they're the right political opinions. If your political opinions run contrary to what the rest of Hollywood, the rest of the tech industry thinks you should be saying, then you will be run out with pitchforks and torches, and that's exactly what happened to Joel Heyman. Here's one of his tweets. "There's a business owner downstairs with an AK-47. No one is giving him any problems about it, including the cops. Not even sure if it's legal. Everyone is going with the flow." This, of course, happening during the riots. Although Joel wrote "laid off" in quotes, it seems like he was ousted from Rooster Teeth for his inappropriate response to the BLM movement and his erratic behavior. This includes him rooting for John McCain's cancer to kill him and allegedly posting right-wing conspiracy theories. "Do bricks carry COVID?" he tweeted on May 30th. He kept going too. I think probably at that point, if he knew he was out the damn door, he's like, why should I filter myself? If he already knew he was on thin ice. And that's the thing too. I mean, I know how that is to be quote unquote laid off, and you have the company give a different story than what actually happened. In fact, we're dealing with that right now with a former partner on a website that I used to be in charge of. There's their version of the story, and then there's my version of the story. Now, my version of the story, of course, has lots and lots of emails to support it. Their version of the story is to save face. Save face with a mouse. But I digress. That's me, not Joel. Remember, only those with the government should have guns. Hopefully we can all be united together when the Chinese invade. This is something Joel Heyman said. "If we don't get massive COVID outbreaks in 3 weeks, then at least that crisis will be considered over, at least for me." He tweeted and kept on tweeting. He's going on about Antifa. He's going on about the mysterious pallet of bricks. Lots of politics. Again, you're allowed to talk politics if you work for these companies. I mean, personally, I like to stay mostly apolitical. I've got pretty, milquetoast opinions on things, but I try to stay mostly apolitical. But there are a lot of people who are getting very, very political online, given the climate. And, it does seem from my observational deck here that only one side is able to, just let it fly. The other side is not, especially if you work for a company like Rooster Teeth that's courting a certain audience that's owned by a certain company that likes certain points of view. Just saying. So basically, instead of highlighting the real issue at hand, racial injustice and police brutality, Joel sent out a litany of tweets that mostly focused on how people involved in protests, some of which did escalate to violence, were destroying cities, that they were spreading COVID, and that the messaging behind them would help re-elect Trump. He also expressed his support for business owners to arm themselves with guns. All of this is pretty problematic. I don't think business owners arming themselves in case of a break-in is terribly problematic. I think that's actually common sense. I think most business owners, especially if you're a retail business, probably arm themselves. They probably have a gun under the cash register or something, behind the counter. It's not exactly clear if Joel was fired in June or months earlier. I think earlier. if I'm being honest, I think he knew he didn't have to play nice anymore, that he wasn't violating any code of, because if he was looking to get fired, then this is definitely it. I think he probably was let go months before, or he was phased out. When he was asked by someone how he still existed at Rooster Teeth on May 30th, he replied, I just don't. According to a Reddit thread about Joel's departure, many commenters noted that Joel had been an a-hole for quite some time. That is their opinion. 2016, a former employee had spoken up about the racism she endured at Rooster Teeth. Not just any employee. LeVar Burton's daughter. LeVar Burton's daughter, when you're LeVar Burton's daughter and you speak out about it in the middle of everything going on, you're going to get lots of mainstream media attention, which she did. And this is really what I think, like Rooster Teeth was already having problems, but I think Mika Burton coming out and then LeVar Burton backing her up on Twitter during the BLM movement, like put this huge crosshairs on Rooster Teeth's head, the rooster cock head, whatever. Basically made Warner very, very aware of what's going on at Rooster Teeth, more so than they're paying closer attention now than they were before, right? It's clear that there seem to be some deeply rooted cultural issues within the company based out of Texas. Imagine that the Texas culture is clashing with the California culture. Imagine that. And Joel was part of it. Was he? Was he part of this situation with Mika Burton? I don't think so. I think it's a culture clash. I think it's a culture clash in general. Again, we have a feisty independent animation studio / content creation studio born and raised in Texas getting bought out by Hollywood. And yeah, you're going to have a culture clash. And it was all accidental. Rooster Teeth did not sell themselves to WarnerMedia. They found themselves being owned by WarnerMedia due to a variety or a series of unfortunate events, I guess. Ironically, AT&T is a very conservative company, but WarnerMedia is not. Rooster Teeth didn't specifically address Joel's departure. They did write up a statement about racial inclusivity on their blog on June 5th. And we talked about this before. They did that because they know WarnerMedia is watching, or they installed their own person over there, which I think happened. We're committed to equality. We realize that these donations in our live stream fundraiser are just one small step in the direction we need to take to improve. We have begun company-wide discussions to identify changes we can make, actions we can take against intolerance, and the steps we can take to ensure lasting change. And then like weeks later, a couple months later, their guys are being accused of grooming. Just saying. And now we've got everybody making statements like, get all the skeletons out of the closet, guys, because it goes a lot further than just, some right-wing opinions, right? Another Redditor speculated Joel may not have been on good terms with the rest of Rooster Teeth for a while. They fired him from the company in the role of caboose. Joel stated he's not exactly the best of friends with Rooster Teeth. Well, yeah, if you helped build this company up and then they kick your ass to the curb, you're going to be a little bitter. I've been there. I've been there. You're going to basically be like, screw you guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. To watch somebody else walk off with something that you helped build, you're going to be like, yeah, you're welcome. And I hope for the very worst to happen to you. They've literally left them out of all mentions of their founders for quite a while. The rumors have been circulating for months what happened to Joel, but it's not official. Yeah, website, my wife and I built. We had our names taken off of it after I was, quote unquote, laid off, or whatever their terminology was, basically pushed out. I don't know if it was at the request of Disney or what, but pushed out, had our names removed from it. And they wanted to spin a story that we parted on good terms or just pretend we didn't exist. And you're very, very salty about that because you watch other people use your platform and act as if they had a hand in it, a hand in building it. And you remember all the nights and weekends that you worked your ass off, thinking that you were building something that would benefit you later in life. And then you watch other people just walk off with it. You're going to be bitter. Absolutely going to be bitter. This wasn't the only shakeup at Rooster Teeth. Burnie Burns left shortly afterwards. Again, rats jumping the ship. On June 11th, Burnie left. Here's to new adventures at Burnie.com. On his site, he said that, he has his family and 2 cats. He was leaving the country, I guess. Some of you have predicted over the past year my steady move away from public life was in preparation for the change. They knew. They knew that things were going to change and not for the better. They had corporate overlords now. They were not going to be allowed to be the Rooster Teeth that everybody had come to know and love, and they were jumping ship. We're going down the list here. A lot of changes go down in companies after they've been acquired. Not all good. In the fall of 2019, Rooster Teeth laid off 13% of their staff. The troubles at Rooster Teeth don't end there. A little over a week ago, Ryan Haywood announced his departure from the company, saying he had made mistakes. It's been rumored, he sent around nudes of himself and cheated on his wife with fans. Well, actually confirmed, I guess, by Achievement Hunter now. Adam Kovic was also fired after it was discovered he'd also been allegedly sending non-consensual nudes to people, including minors. This is coming from Distractify. Now, I haven't kept up on the latest on Kovic, but at least in the case of Haywood, Achievement Hunter, they did admit that, yeah, this was going on. With all the major exits, it's unclear what's in store for Rooster Teeth. Oh, it's entirely clear. It's entirely clear what's in store for Rooster Teeth. They're done. They are done. They're living on borrowed time. This is why we're going to see more and more people leave. If they make it through the next couple of quarters, I would be shocked. But you're going to see some major changes at this company. And WarnerMedia right now, they have zero tolerance for shenanigans, and this company has a lot of shenanigans going on. And again, it's going to be a cautionary tale in years to come why you don't sell your company or your studio to another company, because this kind of stuff can happen. And that's what destroyed Rooster Teeth, was getting sold to a major corporation and the cultures clashing and them not being able to proceed, I guess, business as usual. Not excusing the skeezy stuff for sure, but there definitely is a culture clash going on at this company, and it's going to result in them just getting gone, unfortunately, in my opinion. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk to you guys later.